Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Welcome to my YouTube channel Diversity of Plants Zone. My name is Rubaba Wan. In this channel, you can easily find out the videos which are related to plants and their diversity throughout the world. I have made this channel especially for the students and for the people who are interested in getting information related to the plants and their diversity. This is my first video on this YouTube channel, so I hope all of you will like my video and appreciate my work. So let's start the video. My today's topic is about the introduction to plants and their types of plants. First of all, definition of plants. Plants are multicellular and mostly photosynthetic organisms which are found both in water and on land. They are primary producers. Now what is the meaning of the producers? Producers are the plants that can produce their food by their own, by using the sunlight as energy. They are also called autotrophs and are of fundamental importance in a food chain. Plants range in size from a few millimeters in length to giant sequoias of California that reach 90 meters. Wolffia is the smallest rootless aquatic angiosperm, whereas Eucalyptus regnans is the tallest angiosperm. Angiosperms or the flowering plants are the dominant forms of plants on the earth. For example, Wolffia globosa. It is also called as the freshwater alga. Now, the types of the plants. Plants may be categorized into the different types depending upon their various characteristics. Based on their habitat. Habitat means where they live. Plants are classified into following groups. On the basis of habitat, the plants can be categorized as hydrophytes, hygrophytes, halophytes, mesophytes, xerophytes, epiphytes, and parasites. Hydrophytes, the plants growing close to and submerged underwater, are called the hydrophytes. Examples of these are Hydrilla. Hydrilla verticillata is a water weed. Hygrophytes. They grow in the moist and shady habitats. Their leaves are well developed. Stem and roots are spongy. Now what is the meaning of spongy? Spongy means they consist of numerous number of pores inside them. So they are called spongy and they show stunted growth. Examples of these plants are ferns. Halophytes. The plants grow in the saline soil or water. Common examples are mangrove plants and rhizophora. Now what is the meaning of mangrove plants? Mangrove is usually a shrub or a tree that grows in tidal, chiefly tropical coastal swamps, having the numerous tangled roots that grow above the ground and form the dense thickets. Mesophytes. The plants that require the moderate water for their growth and development are known as the mesophytes. Majority of the angiosperms belong to this group. Xerophytes, the plants which grow in the dry conditions or where the water is negligible, are known as xerophytes. Example is Euphorbia and Acacia. Xerophytes store the water in their stem. For example, Opentia, leaves, aloe, and Bryophyllum. Or in the roots, for example, Asparagus. These are called as the succulents. Example of these plants is the acacia tree in the African savanna. Epiphytes, the plants that grow on the trunk or the branches of the other plant, are called the epiphytes. Example of these plants is the orchids, like the potted white orchids as shown in the figure. Parasitic plants. Parasitic plants, as the name suggests that these plants live on the other plants, are called parasites. Example is Cuscuta, as shown in the figure 8. Types of the plants based on their nutrition. Plants can be classified into the two groups. Based on the nutrition, plants can be classified as autotrophs and heterotrophs. First of all, I am going to discuss about the autotrophs and autophytes. These plants can produce their own food. They are divided into the phototrophs. Phototrophs are the plants produce their own food by the help of photosynthesis, and the chemotrophs. Chemotrophs are the plants produce their own food by utilizing the chemical energy. Majority of plants belong to this group. Second type is heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are the plants are not able to produce their own food and depend on others for food. Parasitic and saprophytic plants belong to this group. Types of the plants based on their shape, size and form, the angiosperms are classified into the four groups on the basis of the habitat, size, shape and forms. The plants can be categorized into the herb, shrub, tree and clumps. First of all, I am going to discuss about the herbs. The stem of these plant is green and delicate. Delicate means it is soft and short. Their life cycle is also short. The example of these plant is wheat. Shrubs. The plants are woody, branched and have several stems with no main axis. The common example of these plants is rose, English rose garden. Trees. They are hard, woody, very well developed and thick. They possess a trunk. Example is banyan tree. Clumps. In these plants, the nodes and internodes are extremely prominent. Example of these plants is the bamboo. Now, the types of the plants based on the nature of the stem. The angiosperms are classified into the four groups. On the basis of nature of the stem, they are classified as erect, creepers, trailers and climbers. Erect. These plants grow upright. It means that they grow straight. Most trees, shrubs and some herbs belong to this group. Second is creepers. These plants have trailing stems on which the roots are present throughout. What is the meaning of the trailing? Trailers are the plants, their stems that grow very long and hang down. They are called the trailers. These plants have trailing stem and their roots are present throughout. The examples of these plants is oxalis, cynodon. Cynodon is also called dobgros. Adventitious roots arise from nodes throughout the length of the stem. Now, what are the adventitious roots? Adventitious roots are the roots arise from the organ other than root. They usually arise from the stem or sometimes from the leaf of the plant. Trailers. They resemble the creepers, but they lack the adventitious roots and doesn't arise from the nodes. It means that the adventitious roots which are present are not present on these plants and they do not arise from the nodes. Bacilla belongs to this group. Fourth type is climbers. Pea plants belongs to this group. The plants have weak stem. It means that their stem is very soft in nature and they climb on some spot by forming the tendrils. Now, what is meant by tendrils? Tendril is a slender or thread-like appendage of a climbing plant, often growing in a spiral form, that twines around any suitable spot. These are called the tendrils. And these plants also consist of the spines. Now, what is meant by the spines? Spines are the long, sharp points on the plant. A strong, sharp and pointed outgrowth that is derived from the leaf or the leaf part. These are called spines. And adventitious roots are also found in them. Types of the plants. Based on their lifespan, the plants are classified into the following four groups. On the basis of their lifespan, there are four types of the plants. Number one is the ephemerals, annuals, biennials and perennials. Ephemerals. These plants complete their lifespan within a very short period. The most common example of these plants is the Solanum xanthocarpum. Annuals. They complete their life cycle within 1 year and die after producing the seeds. Example of these plants is wheat and rice. Third type is biennials. These plants complete their life cycle in 2 years. For the first year, they grow by vegetative reproduction. Now, what is meant by vegetative reproduction? Vegetative reproduction is also called the vegetative propagation, or it is a form of the asexual reproduction, in which the new plant grows from the fragment of the parent plant, or a specialized reproductive structure. And in the second year, they develop the flowers and fruits and seeds. The most common example of this plant is radish. Fourth type is perennials. These plants have long life. The most common example is banyan tree. Now, the question is, what plants need to survive and grow? Plants are found everywhere and have specific requirements to survive and grow. Sunlight, water, nutrients, air, soil, and temperature are the key factors plants rely upon for their survival and growth and development. For example, as shown in the figure, it is shown the role of the sunlight, water, soil, and nutrients on the life of the plant, as the plants require the sunlight for the process of called photosynthesis, and plants require water for their growth and developments. The minerals and water are mostly taken up by the plants by the help of their roots. Sunlight. Plants need sunlight to grow. Light is used as a source of energy for making the food by the process called photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis is so unique to equate it to autotrophic or green plants. Autotrophic are those plants that can prepare their food by the help of the photosynthesis and by using the sunlight as the energy. Animals do not have ability of photosynthesis and thus depend on the plants and other animals for food. Hence, the life on the earth depends upon the sun. Second is water and mineral. Water is very important for every cell in the body. Plants also need minerals. Minerals are usually nutrients, which are essential for the survival of plants. Both the water and nutrients are taken up throughout the roots from the soil. Most important nutrients for the plants are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. However, the other minerals like the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, potassium also constitute essential components for the survival of plants. Fertilizers provide the plants with nutrients. Hence, they are used by the farmers to help to grow all kinds of the crops. Third type is the air, soil, and temperature, which is mostly required by the plants. As we know that harmful pollutants make the survival of plants difficult. Therefore, clean air is very important. Plants require the oxygen to support their cellular respiration. Now, what is meant by the cellular respiration? Cellular respiration is a process by which the organisms combine the oxygen with the foodstuff molecules and diverting the chemical energy in these substances into life-sustaining activities and discarding as waste products carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide is required for photosynthesis. Exchange of these two gases with the environment plays a very crucial role in the plant's survival. Healthy soil and appropriate temperature are also very important for their survival. If you like my video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.